Okay, so y'all know that I'm in the middle of a redetermination for our benefits, right? So I had to do a bunch of stuff, fill out all this paperwork and send in like my lease and all this other type of stuff, just normal things. But this time I had to do a drug screening, which I did when I first applied for benefits. This is a redetermination after a certain amount of time. They just want to make sure you actually still are qualified for the program. So it's a drug screening that you do over the phone. They ask you a bunch of questions. Have you ever used drugs? Do you use drugs now? All this other stuff. Well, tell me why this man gonna ask me, what is your race? Now that was the first red flag. I was like, I mean, black, but that's not a race. I don't want to say African American. I don't want to say African American because I have never seen Africa a day in my life, nor have I been there. I'm American. My race, I'm a human. I don't know. So let him pass with that. But then he says, what is your religious belief? I was like, what? I'm like, what does that have to do with drugs? And he was like, he laughed and he was like, well, we have to get statistics. Statistics for what? Then I lied. I was like, I don't have a religion. I was raised as a Christian, but I'm not going to tell, that's none of your business. I was like, I don't have a religion. He was like, well, do you believe in a higher power? What? What does this have to do with being a drug addict or not? What does this have to do with benefits? Why is the government asking people if they believe in a higher power? You don't find that odd? I find that odd and very disturbing. What happened to the days where it was illegal to ask people stuff like that? What? I was like, yo, I don't believe in a higher power, but what does that have to do with anything? Y'all don't find that weird? Weird. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get off these programs because what? They want my blood sample next?